Hey everyone, it's me, Legendary Flaro, and now I'm going to be doing my ranking on the Evil Dead franchise because you gave me more than 163 subscribers because, well, by the time of this recording, I got 164, so I got exactly what you asked for. So if you're new to this channel, please hit that like button, subscribe, and comment below any video ideas you got for me. And if I get 200 subscribers, I'll make videos about other horror movies that I like. So, let's get on to this video. Alright, Evil Dead is one of my favorite franchises of all time. It's in my top 4, for sure. Well, maybe a little lower, considering Marvel Cinematic Universe and all that. But, anyway, it doesn't change the fact that Sam Raimi is still my favorite director. And I mainly love this franchise because all 4 of these movies are great. We can agree on that. And it doesn't mean I hate any of these movies. I just like some more than others. And you'll definitely be surprised what my number 1 is. Or where Evil Dead 2 goes on my ranking. So anyway, let's get on to this video. Coming in at last place is Evil Dead, and I'm talking about the remake from 2013. And again, this is a great movie. I don't hate it. It's one of the best horror remakes out there. Even though the things that do put it at last place for me are, well, the fact that it's a remake, and I am just so much into the original movie where I care more about seeing an expansion on that story rather than completely rebooting it, unless if it was decanonizing something, if you know what I mean. And, well, also the end credit scene where you see Ash Williams going to the camera and saying his catchphrase, groovy, and it was in a really dark setting too, and because of that, there's been a lot of debate if this movie is canon or not, and if we should consider this a remake or more a silent sequel. And I'm, of course, someone who doesn't really like it when the continuity is confusing, especially because, well, that's how I feel with the Predator franchise, The Predator, and the Alien vs. Predator movies, which, that's gonna be a lot to talk in, but anyway, this video is about Evil Dead, not Predator. And then, but what I do like about this movie is, well, if you're a gore hound, then I think this is the Evil Dead movie for you because it's very bloody and very disturbing. And unlike the sequels where it started to get kind of silly, this one, it is not hilarious whatsoever. And it's actually CGI in a horror movie that is actually scary, and I like the mythology it gives for the Deadites. So, therefore, it's still one of the best horror remakes. But let's move on to my top 3. Coming in at my top 3 is Evil Dead 2. Now, I know that you're all probably shocked that this is not at my number 1, even though the reason why it's not in last place either is because the top 3 is the Evil Dead I fell in love with, and a great character, Ash Williams. Even though I agree this is one of the best sequels out there? Absolutely. Since, after all, It's still a horror film like the first one, but nowhere near as scary, even though it's more action. And not the same way how Aliens was from Alien, but I guess you can say more on how A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors coming off of the first two, which, fun fact, both this, A Nightmare on Elm Street, and Friday the 13th all had a crossover comic called Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash, but I'll talk about that in a much later video. And this is where Ash became a full-on badass with the hand for a chainsaw, and he's actually a warrior. And also like how it expands on the mythos from the first movie and setting up Army of Darkness. But the reasons why I like the top two more are reasons I'm gonna explain right now. Coming in at my top two is Army of Darkness. This is easily the best sequel of this franchise, and I know it's probably weird me saying that this is better than Evil Dead 2, but the reason why this is second best for me is because this is the one that mainly tries to do something new. Sure, the first movie may have been a straight-up horror film. Evil Dead 2 was, well, a horror movie with action elements. And the remake of Evil Dead was also a horror movie and all that. But this film is a fantasy movie with horror elements. And that's what I like about it. And it's the main reason why Aliens works so well for me, but that's not the point. Sorry if I keep bringing up other franchises into this. I'm just trying to explain why certain sequels work so well, including this, and why I like it more than Evil Dead 2. And I just like the whole time traveling aspect, and this still has some very intense moments. So, but also, these two sequels also have a lot of comedy in them, and it can get pretty weird, but still entertaining to watch at the same time, and not anything stupid like with what most horror sequels do when they go comedy. And I also would definitely want to see a sequel to this. There's going to be a new movie called Evil Dead Rise, which we don't know much about, if it's going to be a sequel to this, the remake, or its own reboot. Either way, I would definitely want to see a continuation of this, but it's still unfortunate knowing that Bruce Campbell is probably done playing Ash. Although, it still doesn't change the fact that this is pretty much what made this franchise one of my favorites. Although, it doesn't beat my number one. But coming in at first place is The Evil Dead. And I know it's shocking. You always hear Evil Dead 2 as the best, but never the first movie. Well, it's mainly because this is the scariest horror movie I've ever watched. And mainly because the Deadites are the scariest horror antagonists. Because, well, they're not the same type of entities we would know, since they just haunt an abandoned cabin in the woods, which that always creeps me out. Their lore is terrifying, and especially the way the rest of this franchise expands on it is terrifying too. And for that reason alone, that is why this movie is my favorite, and well, it's mainly what got me interested. So I might like one of the sequels more than this movie sometime whenever I feel like rewatching this franchise, but for now, as of this recording, this movie is the best because it's pretty much perfect. And I haven't watched the show Ash vs. Evil Dead. I heard it was really good. Do you guys suggest I check it out after I'm done rewatching Arrow Season 2, and then once I finish Legends of Tomorrow Season 3, Naruto Season 1, and Hawkeye, which that show isn't even over yet, but still. So, that's pretty much it. I hope you all like my ranking in this video. Tell me what you thought of this ranking, and also let me know yours in the comments below. And don't forget to comment below any video ideas you got for me, and if you want to see more Evil Dead content.